Hi, we're the Two Live Fools. I'm Dave Fine.
I'm Mark Fusco. We've been asked all week about how this was done on American Idol, this clip with Elvis and Celine, and we're going to tell you guys right now.
So what we have here is that they used the 1968 Elvis televised comeback special to pull the song If I Can Dream, where Elvis was performing in front of something really difficult to remove, a black frame with a couple of red lights. Really, really simple.
While wearing white now. While wearing a white jacket.
While wearing a white jacket. I mean, you couldn't key anything easier than that. You'll notice that the movements and the shots are exact. What you're going to quickly see is some white flashes right now, and here's three Elvises. The three Elvises is that they actually didn't use Elvis singing at that particular point. They used him from a different part of the concert to edit into that one quick close-up of him. What you're seeing here is you're seeing Elvis continuing to perform from the 1968 comeback special, both parts, which of course Celine did the other half. But every time that you see a white flash, that's when they had to do an edit to the original concert in order to make it match what their performance is.
In order to make it work in the editing part of this whole process, they had to take clips sometimes out of context and out of timing just to make the edit work. In cutting back, to Celine and the body double, by the way, which we see in this clip right there. That shot, there's a physical body double on some of the shots that were actually used and shot live, and usually they're the far away shots that they use to create the illusion in the wide shot that Elvis is actually on the stage with Celine.
Yeah, the funny part about that is that it's pretty obvious to us that the body double is actually a different height of what Elvis would be, or at least Elvis from the way that they're projecting it, because Celine's eyesight, where she goes and she looks at him here and there, she's looking pretty much at his nose for much of this. It's a little off. I actually, when I first saw this, thought it was going to be much more ambitious, that they were going to take Elvis's face and mat it onto someone else, but for the short period of time that we had taking the clip from the 1968 comeback special, notice that Elvis on the right here goes out of focus. I'll get back to that in a minute. The 1968 comeback special, it's actually interesting that all they did was just cut him right out. Look at the arm movement was not matching between the stand-in on stage and Elvis.
No, he did a decent job there, but you will definitely see
but right now there's another shot where it's really off.
Right, you'll see clips where it's definitely off, and Elvis is really swinging away here. I mean, a lot of this is like sort of it's like a trio.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Celine Dion is performing with Elvis and Elvis, and it's funny because the sync is a little off too. And the weird part about it is, looking at this, we're going to repeat the clip 2 more times from the start here. But looking at it, it's kind of funny that in a way, I think it works better with both of them. Both Elvises in here than Celine. And you can also see how they really reduced Celine Dion's performance, or actually said improved her performance by pulling out the most dynamic Elvis pieces. It's kind of interesting in that way.
I would imagine that they probably purposely kept her somewhat neutral, just as Dave and I are filmmakers in Hollywood out here, just as kind of a way to help and not know really what you're going to get in editing. At the end of this, they seem to keep her somewhat neutral in a sense that they didn't really want her to, outshine Elvis, and she probably was concerned about that too, obviously.
Right, and I mean, Elvis is the original idol, as they were fair in saying. Yeah. Again, look at the flashes here, but look at the body double. Anytime that you see that somebody's that Elvis's face is not visible, it's the body double. And it's funny because there's one of these shots here where you'll see that you'll look at the body double, and they purposely move the camera so that he's being blocked by Celine, so you couldn't see his face from the side or from the back. Again, I honestly expected it to be far more ambitious here. We're going to get up to that focus change in a second, where he's in the foreground. Yeah. What's interesting is that's not hard either. We did the same thing on Star Trek: The Motion Picture when we had Kirk looking at the Starship Enterprise for the first time. Right. We did a rack focus, which really brought it into the point where you were able to focus on one person and go out of focus on the other, and it changes your your focus in the shot.
Yeah,
from Elvis to Celine.
Changes what you're looking at. Yep.
Right, and all that really is, all you're really doing is softening the image in the foreground. So it's not even a big deal here. I'm actually surprised when we put the clips together in sync. It really showed how easy this was, and I started looking at it a little bit more. The lighting is very neutral. I mean, come on, the background has this great big video projector that's projecting lots of moving images. Yeah. But there is no interactive lighting on them, so even Elvis wasn't tinted to be in the room any differently. Yeah. I didn't. We didn't adjust the concert video. I mean, right here's the going out of focus again.
And on the left, folks, you'll notice he's a little warmer. He's a little more orange and kind of a warmer shade. The original Comeback tour was shot on film, and you're going to see here the difference between what we pulled, which is high def, and truly how warm and rich the colors stay on film, which is the older footage on the left. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of an interesting, just a comparison there overall. When we shot to close-ups of him, even the wide shots, it's just warmer. The colors are richer. On video, those red lights behind him probably wouldn't look as nice. But like David originally pointed out here, as far as taking his background away from the original footage couldn't be any easier, honestly. He's wearing a bright white suit, his background black. In today's video editing world, that's like the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it's funny. In putting the clip together, I was basically saying to Mark that if we took another 12 hours, I probably could have cut him out and had him dancing as a third person on there doing the exact same thing. Exactly. And it was also kind of interesting because it's kind of dynamic to hear him singing along with Celine. Yeah, but one of the other things that I noticed, Mark, in looking at the high def clip here, is that as soon as this scene started, they also started degrading the quality. The whole thing started getting really soft.
Interesting.
And I think that was to match Elvis to the background, or at least have everybody match to him, because its film and video tends to have this really careful sharpness to it. Yeah.
So you're saying it kind of maybe blurred up the actual video, the modern day video. They blurred it up to kind of maybe match Elvis, so he wouldn't stand out so much as a sort of an older piece. Even though he's shot on film and he's warmer and all that good stuff, it's not as clear as obviously high def contemporary video of today. The clarity just isn't there. Mm-hmm. But I always found it very fun to actually see him singing all of Celine Dion's parts. Obviously, this originally was not a duet. This is a song that he sang. So it was kind of interesting just seeing her. There's the body double right there, which I thought which is completely off.
Yeah, it's funny.
He's really tall too.
It moves.
Yeah,
but it's that they're swinging their arm. He's swinging his arm or otherwise, and the body double is just completely off at times with it. But it's really kind of interesting to enjoy the original concert as part of this, and then it's just a soft edge. This is not a really hard thing to do nowadays, people. That's it's a great concept that they did it, but again, all it really takes is rotoscoping, which means cutting the background out from from the person in the frame, and then put them into the environment, and you put a body double on stage, and there you go. That's what's funny about this. Often it's the most simplistic things. Like right here, here's where she was blocking him, and you almost can see his face right before the blur shot.
Absolutely.
And it could have been so much more, but again, simplicity holds out. I'm not even sure who did the work, but in general, it was a really simple but fun thing to do.
Simple, fun, and just simple, basic, clever editing. Pretty much, put this together as well as it did, and that's about it. We're just about the end of the clip here.
I just want to point out we didn't cut one frame of the Elvis concert, so you can see that singing "If I Can Dream," it's every single frame from "If I Can Dream" is in our overlay on this.
Well, we got to wrap it up here, guys. If you enjoyed the clip, please buy it on iTunes. We're the Two Life Fools at twolifefools.com. Send us an email. Let us know if you want to hear more or see more of these.